I just said about this awards night, which was the Australian Women in Security Night. And no, that's not to security guards, it's about cyber security. It was held at the Star Casino in Sydney on Tuesday night. It was a big event. It's had big sponsors, the New South Wales Government, the NAB, Bupa, the Australian Signals Directorate, TAL, they're an insurance company. It was $500 a ticket. I mean, this is a pretty fancy soiree. But every man who walked into the room and ponied up his $500 a ticket to attend was handed a little note on the way in. And that note says compliments in professional gatherings should focus on accomplishments, not attributes. If you believe it is appropriate to compliment someone's appearance, then use appropriate language for a professional environment. And it says the words that are appropriate, such as nice, fabulous, and great. The inappropriate words, sexy, beautiful, and gorgeous. May I say you're looking beautiful tonight, Danica?
Oh, Caleb, I'm offended. I'm offended.
Well, Terry,
retract that immediately. I'm very offended.
Off to HR we go. I mean, look, yeah, I know that the rules and the lines are sort of blurred now as to what you can and can't say, particularly in the workplace, which I think is sad. Like, if you genuinely think someone looks good and you say, gee, you look gorgeous today, really, who gives a toss? It's a nice compliment. Yeah. But to hand out a note to every bloke who paid $500 for a ticket to this thing to tell him, no, you can't tell someone they're sexy.
I mean, please, and don't forget, us ladies know, Freya, that when you go to these gala dinners, you spend hours on your hair and makeup. You have bought a new outfit. You want to go there for the night of nights. You want to be shining. So for a man to come up to you and say, gee, you look beautiful, I would say thank you. I would be honoured to receive that sort of compliment. But you know what? I just feel so sorry for men out there in this day and age, because now it's impossible to know what they can say and what they can't say. And where did this all start? The Me Too movement. The Me Too movement has absolutely destroyed men, because every single man in society is suddenly tainted with the same brush. Oh, if you give a woman a compliment, well, you can't say that to me. That's harassment. That's sexual harassment. And that is part of the problem. Now, if someone told me I look nice, I'd say, try a bit harder, please. Come on, go and try again. You look great. Great. Oh, that's a backhanded compliment. See, I feel sorry for men. They've got no hope with us women at the moment. But it's true, Freya. I don't know how you feel about it as a woman yourself, but if a man gives me a compliment, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, the only one I would agree with them on this one is sexy. I feel like in a work environment, calling a colleague sexy is a bit strange. But again, if you have to hand out a pamphlet telling people what words they can and cannot say, clearly you don't have much confidence in male social intelligence, which, I mean, that could be a fair call in some instances. I don't know what the cybersecurity crew is like, but I would say, most people generally know intuitively what's appropriate and what's not. Secondly, the kind of people who are offended by getting compliments probably don't get compliments that often.
No,
because I don't.
The only people, really, who are offended by another woman being called beautiful or gorgeous is ugly women. Like,
correct.
Let's be honest.
We have to be honest.
Because they're not getting it enough themselves. Oh, I can't believe someone else gets it. I mean, look, I'm not an oil painting, and I understand if there's a much better looking bloke, someone's probably going to tell him he's a good looking fella. I'm not offended by that.
But as a man, right? As a man, Caleb, do you feel like you have to watch what you say to a woman in public? Do you feel like you have to stop and have a think about it in the event that you're called something?
Look, probably. The short answer to that is no, because I just don't really give a toss. I just say what I want and I'll deal with the consequences later. Because honestly, I reckon 99% of people think this stuff is garbage, and we've been taught by the 1% to police our language. And there is a degree to which you have to do it now because you are so worried about the potential consequences of what might happen. But I mean, if this is the sort of thing that's going to land you in HR on Wednesday morning, because you said it on Tuesday night at the awards night, that is laughable. So yeah, I probably do think about it to some degree, but it is so stupid that I would be pretty happy to defend myself for calling someone beautiful. Because 99.999 times out of 10, you'll take the compliment.
Exactly. But the thing is, it is actually impacting men and it's impacting dynamics in the workplace. The last polling I saw done on this was back from 2019, so the height of the Me Too movement. 60% of men said they were afraid to mentor women in the workplace because they were scared of being falsely accused.
Yeah.
So actually, in an effort to promote women's rights, the radical left has actually done a disservice to women because men are now so scared of these false allegations that they don't even want to go near junior women in the workplace. And I think that's sad. We've gone way too far.
And just to go back to the point you made earlier about, it's handing out this note is some reflection on what the organisers think of the social abilities of the men. I think it's actually more sinister than that. I think it's just that they hate men, and so they just think it's ingrained in men that they will be inappropriate at all times. Like, most of us know when it is or isn't appropriate to tell someone that they're sexy or beautiful or gorgeous. Like, you're probably not going to bowl up to someone you've never met before, unless you're hitting on them, and say, geez, you look beautiful. But if it's someone you work with and you see them every day, and all of a sudden they actually look half decent tonight, well, who cares?